At first, I thought it was just a gimmick, but after having used this phone for a while, I have to admit, this is actually quite helpful. Hi guys, it's Irina, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're talking about the Infinix Note 60 Pro, and let's dive right in. First of all, let's talk about looks and design, and I must say, this finish is just gorgeous. Probably one of the best I've seen in a while. It's called Mocha Brown. It looks like an expensive chocolate bar with a shimmery matte frame, and sometimes, depending on the light, the camera bump has a slight burgundy hue. I also like the shape of the camera lenses, so yeah, in terms of design, I would give this phone 10 out of 10. A few words about the unboxing experience. I was pleasantly surprised that you get earbuds in the box, which by the way have pretty decent audio quality, and a clear case with a magnetic ring, which is amazing because I can't imagine using my phone without my favorite accessories. So yeah, it's a nice touch. This phone was ready to go right off the box. I just put my pop socket on it and started using it. And let's talk about the display. This phone has a 6.78-inch display, which is a pretty standard size for larger panels. The display is sharp, you can tweak the screen colors. I always prefer them to be more natural and warmer. The Note 60 Pro has a peak brightness of 4500 nits, which you will only really notice in direct sunlight, but make sure you have high brightness mode enabled. Also, in the accessibility settings, there is outdoor booster that makes the display even brighter. And when it comes to using this phone indoors, I don't have any complaints. It's actually pretty good in terms of brightness. Did you know that this phone also has a secondary display? It's called the Active Matrix display, and it stays invisible until it's activated. At first, I thought it was just a gimmick, but after having used this phone for a while, I have to admit, this is actually quite helpful. When you flip your phone, the display shows you some information. I have a battery percentage here, but you can customize it or create your own style. You can also shake the phone if you want to see the information. It works for notifications and calls, and one of my favorite things is using a timer on this display. It's really helpful if you want to focus and limit distractions. And finally, you can play games here, which is more of a gimmick, but still pretty cool. Moving on to the camera. We have a dual camera here with a main and an ultra-wide lens. Let's take a look at some photos and the videos I took. I'd say the camera on this phone lacks consistency. You can get really nice photos with this phone, but sometimes you get a shot where everything looks soft. Same thing when it comes to video. Some videos look nice, and sometimes you get a video with flickering light. The video stabilization is also not the best on this phone. As you can see, there is some shakiness in the videos. It's slightly better when you use the ultra-wide camera, but you're limited to 1080p resolution. In the camera app, it's nice to see a dual video mode that lets you record with the front and rear camera at the same time. The sky shop is pretty cool. You can pick the sky you like and add it to your photo. I also love these effects that you can apply to videos. When it comes to the front camera, I like the selfies I get with this phone. They look quite sharp, the skin colors look good. There is also the wide selfie mode. I think it comes in handy if you're trying to take a selfie with something cool in the background. For example, if you're sightseeing, it lets you fit more into the frame than a regular wide-angle selfie. But a regular selfie is better in terms of quality. When it comes to videos shot on the front camera, they're pretty sharp when there is plenty of light, skin tones look good, but once the lighting conditions get slightly worse, the videos start to look noisy and lose sharpness. Now let's talk about battery life. The Infinix 60 Pro has a 6500 mAh battery, and the battery life is actually pretty solid. Normally I get around 2 days with moderate use. The Note 60 Pro supports wireless charging and reverse wireless charging, so you can charge your other devices with this phone. When it comes to the speakers, they're mediocre, not the loudest and not the best in terms of audio quality, but still decent for everyday use. By the way, this phone has a feature similar to Apple's Dynamic Island. It works with Spotify, the timer, and other apps. I like it. Moving on to biometrics and security features. This phone has face recognition and a fingerprint sensor. The face recognition is very basic here, so it's not secure enough to log into banking and health apps with your face, but you can use your fingerprint for that. This is an optical fingerprint sensor, so it will be difficult to unlock your phone with wet fingers, but all in all, it works okay. Speaking of other security features, it's nice to see Google's theft protection feature here. This phone runs on XOS 16, a custom skin based on Android 16, so I was curious to see what it offers in terms of customization, and there are some nice features here. I especially like this depth of field effect. It's pretty cool, and you can create your own wallpapers with this effect. I also like the AI theme generator, where you can create themed wallpapers from your own photos. By the way, this phone has a one-tap button similar to the iPhone's action button, where you can assign an action. I like that you can set it up for pretty much any app. For example, you can open Instagram with this button or even start making a story with it. And on the other side of the phone, there is a health monitor that measures some health metrics like heart rate, blood oxygen, HRV, and stress. It's actually pretty amazing that you can do it directly on your phone without any wearables. I compared it with my Apple Watch and the readings were very close, so I guess this health monitor is pretty accurate. The only thing is that sometimes for some reason I get this message that it fails to measure my vitals, even though I keep my finger super still on the monitor, so yeah, I wish this feature were more reliable. Now let's talk about performance. This phone is powered by the Snapdragon 7S Gen 4. This particular unit has 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. I'd say this phone is quite snappy for regular daily tasks and social media. Gaming has been pretty smooth too. The graphics aren't the best, but there are no freezes or anything like that. When it comes to more demanding tasks like video editing, it's actually better than I expected. It's not as fast as, say, my iPhone 17 Pro, but yeah, it delivers. The starting price for this phone is just $300, and at this price point, the Note 60 Pro has 3 strong advantages. First, battery life, second, the display, and third, performance. I personally like that this phone stands out. It's nice to see something refreshing on the market, especially when phone companies crank out devices with pretty much the same feature set. That's all for this video, guys. Let me know if you have any questions about this phone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.